What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Evolved Jeeping channel. On today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys something new, and it's probably something you haven't seen before. As you can see, I'm at my desk and not beside my Jeep, and the reason is because the product that I'm going to be showing you is not for my Jeep, and instead it's for my key fob. What we're going to be doing is giving this key fob a bit of a makeover and a new look. And the product that we're going to be using to do that is the Genesis series Key Fob Case for the Jeep JL and JT. This is from a brand called OMU, which stands for Offroad Mutants. You might not have heard of this brand before, but they've actually been around since 2008, and they specialize in making CNC'd aluminum parts for both the Jeep and Bronco platforms. This product right here is basically a CNC'd aluminum key fob case that is designed to go around the key fob components. What that means is that this case here is not designed to go around the stock key fob. Instead, we're going to take the components out of this case and put them into the new case. This goes for $99, and if you want more information about it, I'll put a link below that you can click on to get more details. You might be wondering, why am I creating this video around a key fob? Well, one of the perks to having this YouTube channel is that I sometimes get approached by brands who are looking to send me free products in exchange for video content. Typically, I review these offers, I determine if the product's any good, and if it's worth it, and if I have any use for the product, and if I do, then I accept the offer. The reason I accept these offers is because it gives me the opportunity to create more content for this channel without the added expense of purchasing new parts. So about a month ago, OMU approached me and asked me if I want to create video content for this key fob. At first, I was a little bit hesitant because this is just a key fob and I feel like the stock one's good enough. But then I started to look at their website and looked at some of the other products they offer for the JL. And there's a few products I really liked. In particular, they had some really cool set of door handles. So I figured what I would do is go ahead and accept their offers so that I could review this product and determine if the quality of the products they sell is any good. And hopefully maybe by doing this, I'll create a good relationship with them and they might be willing to send me the door handles to do a future video on. So what we're gonna do, guys, is unbox this product to see what it comes with. Then we'll go through the assembly steps and process, and then I'll give my overall thoughts of the product after we put it together. So let's go ahead and see what the thing has to offer. To open the box, all you have to do is cut the two stickers on both sides at the back. Then we're going to slide the top off from the base. First thing you have is an instruction manual. On this, you have a list of everything that is included in the package, and then it goes into the instructions on how to assemble this. Next, we have a foam cover right here, so we're going to remove that. As you can see, this is displayed really nicely. This is very impressive. It gives you a high quality of craftsmanship just because they care on the way it's presented. Let's take a look at this key fob. Oh, this is definitely heavy duty. This is not cheap by any way. Yeah, definitely nice feeling to it. It has their OMU logo. Looks like you have your location for the buttons to go there. You've got this silicone band attached right here with some, their slogan, their logo. On the back of this, it looks like you have a screw, so you can actually remove the silicone band if you want. On the back here, we've got some plastic, so we're going to peel that off. Oh, it looks like we have a window on the back. That's kind of cool. So you're going to be able to see the components on the inside. That will be a really cool effect. We'll have to see how that does. Looks like we got a button here. When we press that, that opens up this compartment here. This looks like where we're going to put the key. The key is going to go onto here, and then it's going to slide right down into this section right here. Really cool. Let's move on to the next thing. Next thing we have is another window. It looks like we have an extra window to replace it. Maybe it's thicker. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what that's all about. But we have an extra piece right there. Then we have, it looks like a screwdriver handle. That's nice. So it looks like they include all the tools you need to do this. We've got 3 different heads right here as well. So that's really nice that they have that. And we've got a bag of some extra bolts. Maybe that's just extras in case you lose them. I'm not sure. We'll have to see where those are needed. And last, we've got this little bag here, which has, it looks like a plastic piece that looks like it would hold the battery. It must go inside here and it holds the battery in place. So that's the battery holder. Overall, this is very impressive on my first impressions. So now what we're going to do is we're going to dive into the insulation and we're going to get the key fob components moved over from this and put into that. So let's dive into that installation process. So the first step is to open up the first step that we have to do is to open up the back. So the first step we have to do is open up the stock key fob and remove the battery. We're going to do that by simply putting a pry tool in here, prying off the back, and then we use another pry tool to get the battery out. So let's go ahead and get to that. Next part is we have to take this apart. So what we're going to do is using the tools provided, we're going to undo the screws right there, and this should come apart.
Inside lane, missing exits, glued to the pavement, between the lines, I'll keep my gaze straight ahead.
Next, we got to remove the key from the swivel arm here. And what we're going to use is a tool they provide right here, which is this little punch tool, and we're going to punch out that little piece. I've also brought a pair of pliers, which you don't necessarily need, but it definitely helps, and we're going to be able to pull that out. Oh, so mine popped right out right easily. Then next you got to separate them like that. Now we're going to set these parts aside. We don't need any of these stock parts. We just need these two. Let's go remove these screws. Next, we need to open up this key fob right here. So using the tool, we're going to open up the back.
I've gone around once, and I don't need to go around anymore. Break away, forget your sober case. Stop dwelling on empty words. Stop stalling in the doorway.
Next, we're going to undo these 2 screws to remove this piece right here. Next, we're going to install the button face, the circuit board, and that panel back in. Now that we have that done, we're going to add the battery and the battery cover. Next part we need to do is to remove the chip from the stock unit right there and insert it into this location right here.
You can't win them all, but I'm proud I tried. I'm glad we had a dialogue. It's good to shape the mind.
The next part is to put the cover on the back.
Turning up the heat, where I need to be for the first time. I'm taking risks, I'm casting off without a lifeline. Break away.
Now that we have that together, we now need to put the key on the piece. So all we're gonna do is unscrew that screw right there, slide it in, and then screw it back up.
Empty words, stop stalling in the doorway, and cancel the cruise control, switching in the manual.
As you can see, we've completed the assembly of the key fob and everything seems to be working just fine. When we press the buttons right here, the red light flashes, which indicates a signal is actually being sent, which means we completed the installation correctly. On the back here, you have your button right there. When you press that, it will actually unlock the key and you can take that and do whatever you need to. And then you can simply just slide it back in. One thing to mention that this key fob has that the other one does not is the red indication light. On the stock one, there is no light present. What I feel is that the red light is actually on the circuit board. And on this case, what they did is they put a window so that you can see the light, where on the stock one, the light is simply just hidden. I actually think this is a good feature because what it does is it gives me the ability to see when the key fob is actually working, and it tells me that the battery is still good. Where with the stock one, the only way to know if the battery is dying, which I experienced, is when you press the button, the Jeep just doesn't do what you want it to do. So I really like that they added that because it gives you the added information to know that the battery is still good. I also think it looks really cool when you press the button that the red light flashes. So little added design element. So guys, overall, I'm pretty impressed by this product and it definitely exceeded my expectations. But I do have some criticism. The criticism I have is not necessarily reasons not to buy it. It is more criticism about the overall design and what they could have done better. But before I get into the criticism, let's talk about the things I like. So there's a couple things I like about this. First is the material, then it is the design and the craftsmanship, and then the assembly. For the material, I really like that this is an aluminum body because not only does it feel good and feel strong, but it is in fact strong. I feel like if I ran this over with my Jeep, it would actually still function. It might be a little scratched up, but when I press the buttons, it would still work. One thing about the aluminum is it does add a little bit of weight. This is a little bit of a negative, but also a positive because the fact that it feels a little bit heavier gives me the confidence to know that it is super strong shell and that it's not gonna break. I feel that even if I threw this at somebody, this would probably hurt them and not the key fob. So definitely happy that it's an aluminum body. It has a great feeling and yeah, just really nice. As for the design and the craftsmanship, this is something I'm really impressed with. The craftsmanship of the seeing looks amazing. There's no unfinished edges. Everything looks clean. If this is the quality of the products they put out using their CNC machines, I really cannot wait to try out some of the other products they have to offer because this is top notch. The design of this is really nice too. It has a nice rugged look. It really suits the Jeep, which is nice. I love the fact that they added this silicone band because it gives you the ability to have like a lanyard without actually having anything on it. Yeah, overall, really nice and really durable. Really impressed by the design and the material. The next thing is the assembly. Because of the way they designed this, the assembly was really easy to do. Everything went together really smooth. There was no struggling. The tolerances were perfect. Yeah, it was really easy to do. It was very straightforward. The instructions were not complicated. I really do like the fact that they provided the tools you needed as well, because sometimes when you're dealing with small items like this, you don't really have the screwdrivers you need. But the fact that they provided that adds to the $99 price point and gives this item very good value. Now that we've talked about the things I like about this, let's talk about the negatives or the criticism I have about this. Most of the criticism is mostly about the design and more about missed opportunities. The things we're going to cover are the size, the weight, and then one particular design element they have on this key fob. So for the size, this is probably the biggest criticism I have, and it's the fact that this new key fob is slightly bigger than the stock one. I think this is a missed opportunity because if you're going to be replacing your key fob shell with something else, I would rather it be a little bit smaller. And the only reason I say that is because this key fob, which is the stock one, is already too big for the majority of people. Some people it works fine, like myself, but for anybody with smaller hands, this is definitely too big. So the fact that this is bigger is definitely a negative. And the worst part is the way they designed this, they definitely could have reduced the size. There's some empty space around the edges that simply could have been condensed to make this a smaller, more compact key fob. So maybe in the future they'll make that, but yeah, it's definitely a missed opportunity. Again, guys, not a big deal. This is still an okay size. I actually kind of like it, but for someone with small hands, like a female, this might be a bit of a problem. So yeah, definitely something to think about. The next thing, which is the weight, it actually relates to the size. So because this is an aluminum body, this actually weighed twice the weight of this. It might have been because of the silicone strap, but I don't think that's the case. I think it has to do with the aluminum body and the fact that the aluminum body is slightly too big. If they had reduced the size of this, the weight would have been a little bit closer to this, which would have been okay because the extra weight added into this would have justified it because you're getting added strength. So again, missed opportunity. If they make it smaller, it would be a little bit better. So the last thing I have, which is relating to the design, has to do with the clear back. So yes, I think this is cool. I think it's cool that you can see the elements, but what I don't like about this is the fact that it's plexiglass and it's simply just gonna get scratched up over time. With these key fobs, these are things that you throw around, you throw in a bag, you throw in your pocket, and it's just a matter of time before this gets damaged or scratched up and it just becomes a wish wash. Also, when you're assembling it, there's a chance that you get a fingerprint on the inside, and that would be really annoying. What I would have liked to have seen them done is simply just put an aluminum backing on it, or instead of providing the second clear window, provide an optional aluminum backing where you can decide whether you want a window or a solid aluminum panel. For myself, I would have simply went with the aluminum one because I know for a fact I'm going to throw this around and it's gonna get scratched up. So yeah, small little thing. As I said, guys, the criticism I have are minor things. They're not reasons not to buy it. I am impressed by this. This is pretty impressive. At first, I thought I wasn't going to keep this or use it, but now seeing it, I actually might do it because it's actually really nice. It is a little bigger, yes, but that's okay because usually this will fit in my pocket anyways, and it's not that far off from this one. So realistically, better quality looking, cooler looking product or the stock one. I'm kind of leaning to this. So guys, if you want to purchase one of these for yourself, I'll put the link below and you can check it out. As I said, I'm really impressed by OMU or Offroad Mutants. They seem to offer some really cool products. I highly recommend that you go to their website and check out some of the other products they have to offer. If you guys have any questions or comments about this product, feel free to post them below and I'll do the best to answer them. As usual, guys, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Keep evolving your Jeep, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
Your